Welcome to the monthly edition of Honoring Every Dollar as a Lavish Cheapskate. My name is Artie Skinner, author of The Lavish Cheapskate and creator of the website resource and free newsletter service at www.lavishcheapskate.com. This website has been created to help you free up more money every day and become more prosperous as well as more conscious of your relationship with money. In this month's interview, we have our Lavish Cheapskate liaison for fashion and image, Nickolette Reid. Nickolette is a certified image consultant and creator of the Power of Image and budget beauty style programs. She is the author of The Power of Image and shares methods to creating your best image, which in turn creates your best life. Owner of BL Image Communications in Toronto, she has written image, style, and fashion articles for various national magazines and has over 12 years of experience in image communications. Nickolette has been featured on Breakfast TV, Slice Channel, CTV, and other media sources. So now we're going to the telephone for this power-packed interview so you can choose a lavishly cheap wardrobe and look like $1,000,000. I have Nickolette Reid on the line, and we're going to talk about lavishly cheap ways to have a wardrobe that looks like $1,000,000. So I'm really excited. But before we get started, Nickolette, could you share with the listeners how you chose to become an image consultant and why you chose to become an image consultant?
My mother was a fashion designer for many years. So from the day I was born, I was already thrust into the fashion industry. She owned 3 retail stores. In high school, I put together fashion shows every year for my high school. I did also for my community. And then I started working retail. I started actually building retail stores like Jacobs and Aldo's and Gap. I was their visual merchandiser, visual presenter, all those kind of things when it came to visual appeal for customers. My last employment was with Jacob, and then there was certain ladies that kept on coming back asking for me, even though I was not in sales, and that was a big issue. And one of the ladies says to me, Nickolette, you really need to go out and do this for a living because you have such a talent. Like, people get paid for this. And I didn't know what she was talking about. And then a couple days later, she came back with her usual schedule on her lunch break. That's how a lot of women shop. And she showed me a book from George Brown. And he said, this is what you do. And you need to go to school for this, to hone your skills, because it's ridiculous. So I went to school. I graduated. And funny, I actually dropped out of school because my business was growing so quickly and so rapidly that I didn't have time to actually go to class anymore. It was actually written up in our city newspaper in Toronto, in the metro here, the fact that I had to drop out of school because my business was growing and I didn't even have a certificate or a degree in my business yet. So I came back. I loved it. I finished my education because my mother is British and you can never not finish your education. And started my business. That's how it went, and I just find so much joy and so much happiness in helping people realize just how beautiful they are, just how amazing they are. I know I'm a certified image consultant, but I don't call myself that. Other people call me that. I say image developer because I help you understand your image and how to empower it. So that's the story.
That's a great story. I love it. I love it. I have a couple questions because there's some people who are listening out there who probably are amidst a change in life. Maybe they lost their job or they're looking for a new career because of a layoff or, there's many different situations that people are facing today. How important do you believe that your education was in regards to your success? Or do you believe it was simply a complement to your success? And do you believe that people can succeed without having a formal education?
I've been asked it a lot, and for me, I think it was just a compliment to my inherent ability. I know this. I automatically know the colors, the fit, the style, and the personality that someone inherently has within them and how to bring that out through visual success. So me having the paper is just a formality. I did not have to go. No one's ever asked me, Nickolette, I would love to see your credentials as to why you're charging this price or as to why you're doing this. No one's ever asked me that. Because my passion is what drives me. My passion is what connects me to my clients. It connects me to my audiences when I speak. That's what connects me, not my paper. And I'm not saying that any profession that you join or any profession that you indulge in or go to, forgo the paper because tax is going to take you. If I'm going to get surgery, I want to know my doctor has a degree at a reputable university and also, did his residency and vice versa. There's certain steps in certain industries that you must go through education, but not for this one. I felt that there was no need for me to, but I did it anyhow because I just felt it was just a step to take.
It probably has opened some doors that perhaps weren't opened to you because of your degree.
Oh, for sure. Last year, I was the official spokesperson for George Brown College, which is where I graduated from, and that's because one of the only people who've taken that course or that certificate and actually made a functioning business out of it. And so for a year, I traveled, I spoke about how going to school and getting this education from George Brown actually helped my career, and they were very supportive. I had billboards across North America, and I was speaking to hundreds of thousands of people about the advantages of taking this course and how if you really want to get into this industry, this course can hone your skills for you and vice versa. So yeah, it did help. It did definitely open doors for me.
For the people who are listening, there's some things to consider here. One, it's interesting because, and it doesn't surprise me that you were very successful while you were going to college and say, boy, I'm just going to have to drop out of my classes because the success just keeps coming.
I didn't have time, but I was like, oh my God.
And two, what a degree can say is you finish what you start. And it's based in success principles, and we all love meeting people who are successful, have those people guide us to what we need to do next. We seek those people that are doers. We seek people who complete what they start. And not only that, of course, your talents come in and everything else, it's the wholeness of the whole thing. That's just a great story because a lot of people who are listening out there just need to see the whole scope and an example of success. So, yes, granted, the formal education definitely opened doors for you. You're able to advocate to other people why it's important to finish what you start. And on the other hand, to expand upon your talents and share your gifts with others.
Sharing it is a big thing. The idea is not to hoard it. It's to share it. It's to let everybody know how to do this. And through my book, The Power of Image, I teach people. And everybody, doesn't matter how much money you make. Through the Power of Image book, I teach people your money or how much money you make doesn't determine your style. It doesn't determine how fashionable or how professional you're going to look. Your style is something you have. You can't buy style. That's one thing you cannot purchase.
That's good to hear, especially coming from being the lavish cheapskate here. That's really good to hear. And I know the listeners are going to truly appreciate it. I'd like to start with some questions so that people can really get the most out of our time with you, and thank you for spending the time. And we will be getting back to your book as well because I want people to know you can further expand upon this interview. We're going to learn a tremendous amount in this interview, and you can actually learn more and be exposed to more great information, and we'll get to that at the end of this interview. But the first question I have for you is, what are the biggest mistakes people make when choosing clothing and simultaneously trying to save money?
Unfortunately, one of the biggest mistakes most people make, and I think it's from when we're kids, is buying trends. Trends do not last. If you are worried about the bottom line, the dollar, you should not buy trends. You should buy classic pieces. So that's the biggest mistake I find people make when it comes to trying to look their best and simultaneously saving money. They go for trends because that's going to cost you so much more because every 3 months it's a new trend. But if you had a classic staple piece, it would last. It's timeless. You don't have to buy it again. It'll never go out of style. You'll never have to spend that money again. You spend it the one time, and it's forever going through transition within the fashion industry. And you'll never look outdated. You'll never look unfashionable. You'll always look on point because it's classic. It doesn't change.
You are speaking my language totally. In my book, The Lavish Cheapstake, I have a whole chapter dedicated to trend setting as the quick way to the poorhouse. I talk about trend setting is what poor rich people do. What I talk about in my book, which the listeners know about, is what poor rich people do and what lavish cheapskates do. And there's a huge difference in a very short period of time as to how much money you can actually have work in your favor, leverage it into your favor by just making some simple shifts in your life.